We're always in our clubhouse getting high. Super fuckers! Everybody wishes we would die. Super fuckers! Here we come like a bomb. Everybody fucking run and hide.
Hey, it's the Pizza Party podcast, and we got new icons. Izzy's not here, but I just wanted to show off how nice Izzy's looks. And I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
Oh, hey, it's Jim.
Okay. I'm Nolan. Jim interrupted me because he's a bully.
Sorry.
I want to know who started the blank is a bully thing in the comments. Like, every time I bully someone on the podcast, someone always says, Pan is a bully. And it's like, why does everyone keep saying that?
That might have been my fault, but it's I talked to my friend Bernie, and sometimes he calls me a bully, and I thought that was really funny, so I just started doing it. And then I call all of my friends bullies all the time. Every time they make like a descending comment towards me, even if it's really light, I just say, "You're a fucking bully."
Yeah.
And then it's just sort of kind of spread. It's become a meme now. It's like a mini meme.
Bernie's our #1 Starfucker fan.
He runs the animation warehouse. He's a good friend of mine, and he hates it when I plug him all the time, but I do it anyway because I love him.
Yeah, I bet you do, you fucking...
We fuck on the side every weekend. We have salad. It's great.
Oh, shit.
Aww. Wait, like after or during?
During. Have you had sex while eating a salad before? It's actually really interesting.
Is that where you toss it?
What kind of salad? I mean, is it like a Caesar salad?
It's a kale salad.
I don't know what that is.
I could see that. If it was like, oh, so you go to a restaurant, go to the salad bar, get kind of warmed up, be like, you want some croutons, baby? And the other person is like, yeah, I'd like some croutons. And like, I'm going to put ranch dressing all over this shit.
Croutons are used for sounding, so it hurts really bad. But if you like that sort of angle, it's really good.
Wait, what are you using the salad for?
The salad, hold on here. Let me whisper to you.
Oh my God.
Hey, so the next video, 5 cartoonists who hated their work.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm thinking of doing that, or maybe the Christmas one, Rhapsody Street Kids. It's this really bad CGI animation that aired on like some local affiliate channel, and it was lost for a long time. Eventually, people found it, and it looks like shit.
I kind of want both, to be honest.
Well,
you could do top 5 cartoonists who hate themselves, but I guess you'd have too many to pick from.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Davis is #1.
So you guys want to get into the news?
Hold on.
Oh,
before we do that,
no.
I would like to announce on here formally that the Rocket Power Race Across New Zealand review is finally out.
Yay!
Jim, Nolan's second review, right?
Yes. My first review is unlisted, but if you want a link, I guess I can give it to Pan for you guys to see.
Yeah, in the
Wait,
description.
Yeah. Basically what this is about is that me and Jim kind of unofficially started a review war with each other.
Yeah.
It started when I asked Jim to review Rent, and he said, okay, I'll do it. And then he said, I want you to review a movie now. And I'm like, okay, what is it? And then he hosted a poll saying it was either Oogie Loves or Rocket Power Race Across New Zealand. And of course, all of you fuckers decided that Rocket Power was going to be the winner, because who gives a shit about Oogie Loves?
I mean, I would have liked to have heard your review of Oogie Loves. But...
what would there have been to say, Jim? What would have there?
Questioning why the guy from Back to the Future does so many shitty movies. What's his name?
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. Why does he?
I mean,
what happened to his? Why does he do this? Why does he do so many shitty films?
You got to pay the mortgage.
Yeah.
Or the rent, or wherever he's living.
Those Back to the Future checks are just not what they used to be.
Yeah, because I don't know. The only good thing Christopher Lloyd has done in the past 10 years was Over the Garden Wall, and that was it.
Yeah, pretty well. He did Piranha 3D, but that was he was barely in that. So
yeah, because that was a magnum opus of filmmaking.
Hey, I like Piranha 3D. It was fun. If you're drunk.
Sure you did, Jim.
And
but yeah, so since I finally held up my end of the bargain, it's Jim's turn to hold up his end of the bargain.
Oh no!
And whatever he decides to do for the review is up to him. But I have decided my movies, and they are going to be Kickassia from thatguywiththeglasses.com, or if you want, Atop the Fourth Wall of the movie. So cast your votes in the straw poll in the description,
Yes.
and we will decide what terrible movie Jim has to review. And if it's not as good or better than my review, he can take his review and shove it up his ass.
Jim, are you familiar with all the Kickassia and That Guy with the Glasses, like those reviewers in general?
I know the guy with the glasses. I don't know the Top the Fourth Wall person very well. But I know him, but not as much the other people. I think it's weird that they made movies, though. That's the part that I find so bizarre. Like, was anyone...
Quote, movies.
Well, like, was someone sitting where, like, studio heads, like, we really want you to make a movie? Or was this just, like, ego blowing up farther than the internet,
Yeah, the second one. It was basically a glorified home movie with really shitty lighting and no tripods allowed.
I find that whole idea so bizarre that all these guys are like, no, I need to make a movie, but I guess they have a character, know, so, one day we'll make the Pizza Party movie where we have to go help find Tony Hawk or something.
Someday.
God.
Oh, God, we'll spend all the money trying to get Tony Hawk into the movie. Like, please, Tony, all you gotta do is appear for 30 seconds. That's all we ask for. Come on.
Instead of Pan Pizza Trouble in Tokyo, it's Pizza Party Podcast Trouble in Turkey.
What? Trouble? Oh no, I don't think we would ever go into Turkey. We wouldn't shoot there. We would just get a set. All we need is like some sand and what looks like a destroyed building. I think that'll work.
But I don't like sand.
It's so coarse and gets everywhere.
Irritating, and it gets everywhere. I love Hayden Christensen's delivery of that line, by the way. He like slurs it for some reason, and it's really funny.
Oh, he's like, oh God, he's so bad. Like, why? I read a thing again, and I'd heard this rumor for a long time that was pretty much Ryan Philippe's role. Do you remember Ryan Philippe?
Who the fuck is that?
Did you see Cruel Intentions?
No.
I'm not 55, Jim.
Okay. It's not that okay. But anyway, he was this actor and he was up and coming then. And apparently they pretty much said, like, the role's yours. And he was like, I don't think I'm gonna do it. And then they're like, okay, who sort of looks like him but is cheaper? And that's why I've always heard that rumor and I've never gotten a like confirmation from anyone who worked on it. But I'm like, I bet that's true. Like they didn't go, let's just cast someone else. They went, I mean, he sort of looks like him. I'm sure we're fine.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough.
We'll be good. People will love Hayden Christensen, right?
What's he up to now?
I think he goes to Star Wars conventions with Jake Lloyd, and then they get fucked up and drive around, do car racing.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
A Star Wars prequels reunion.
If you're at a really dark, depressing drug party if you show up and Hayden Christensen and Jake Lloyd are there, you're like, I gotta go. My life is taking a wrong turn.
Didn't Hayden Christensen basically fuck off from acting forever because of the prequels?
He's done some stuff, but basically yes. But it's also, I don't think it helps that, like, unlike Ewan McGregor and Natalie Portman, who had pretty significant movies before Star Wars, his career kind of begins and ends with Star Wars. And I think like that Shattered Glass movie, which I'm sure most people listening to this are like, what the fuck, did you make up a movie? Like he's just not in very much. So I don't think he had anywhere he could really go because he just didn't, no one could look back at when he was good because he was never good. So
I love how Ewan McDonald hasn't been heard of since.
Well, he's the only prequel person who's really talked to the new Star Wars producers, and he did a voice for Force Awakens during that when Rey has that kind of trips out when she holds on the lightsaber. He did like one line, like something like he said Rey, or I don't know. I couldn't. It was weird, I know there is gonna be an Obi-Wan movie in like 2020, and he is talking to him, so he is actually. It's plausible he could come back.
Can't wait for 2020.
Yeah.
Fun fact that James Arnold Tyler, who does the voice for Obi-Wan and all of the smaller stuff, actually dubbed the line first. And then they got Ewan McDonald, and he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll fuck off then."
Wait, really? I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, and then they took a line from Alec McGinnis Beer or whatever the fuck his name is, and they cut out of when he said the word afraid. They cut out Ray and then put it in.
Really?
What?
I
Really?
think that's what they did.
I mean, that sequence is so like you can barely hear because it's so trippy and there's all these.
Take it with a grain of salt, but I read that somewhere, so
Yeah.
I forget the source, but it could very well be.
Yeah.
I like researching movies that I've only seen once on TV tropes.
YOLO. You only YOLO once.
Yeah, that's true.
But so, Jim, did you actually ever watch Nostalgia Critic?
Yeah, I watched him. I'm not as big into him as you guys are.
Yeah, it was big.
Okay, if you want to say that, sure.
Look, 2008,
Well, I guess-
2009 was a different time.
Yeah,
I feel like you guys have watched more of him than me.
Yeah,
That's
we
probably-
grew up with that stuff. These were our, well, I don't know. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I like him to a certain degree, but I'm not in love with the whole I'm going to read the whole plot in the review thing.
yeah, again, I don't know. After a while, I got bored of just seeing someone review the entire movie. Like, well, I mean, I was watching Nostalgia Critic recently, the Blade review, and it was like, damn, he comments over every little thing. Like, I mean, I'm okay with going over the entire movie, but like, not every single little thing. Just get to the best of parts, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a little like sometimes I can't think of specific examples because there's sometimes I think he did really good stuff, but then others I'd be like, I feel like you're just like trying to jump on anything, and I don't know if that's necessarily what criticism should be. Like just like pouncing on any little possible thing to jump on, but you know, I mean, I don't know, respect that he keeps going and made this little empire and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
it's hardly an empire anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. It's an empire. It's just one emperor and everybody else is dead.
I mean, I think like the guys, Red Letter Media kind of are the kind of took on that whole like building kind of an empire out of just like being able to have enough money to rent an office space and make your YouTube thing real. But I feel like they've fallen off because that Force Awakens review was like real bad.
Yeah.
So-
What? Really?
What, you didn't like that? You like
Lincoln
that?
review?
Yeah.
I loved that review.
I thought it was okay. It was more about the world around Star Wars rather than the
Yeah.
movie
It
itself.
Yeah, it was fascinating.
I didn't. To me, it was like I felt like they didn't know what to do with it, and a lot of what they were saying, I had read other places, and some of it came off a little like racist and like very pro, like anti, like international box office stuff. And I was like, I feel like they were going down roads that like I know they're pretending they're trying to criticize, like make fun of like a character like Plinkett with it, but it didn't come off that way entirely. But I don't know. Force Awakens, the other thing with that is like it had been so reviewed to death at that point. I don't know. I feel like maybe they should have either waited or
Yeah.
I don't know.
They only had like 3 criticisms about the movie itself, and it was just, hey, I'm tired of all this clickbait bullshit.
Yeah.
I guess, but I was fascinated with the ring theory stuff, and I liked how he talked about just if there's one thing I will agree with, there are a few things I didn't like about the review is the movies now are just an assembly line, blah blah, and how there has to be romance in the movie, which I don't get at all. Like, I don't get how that.
Oh, yeah.
How that's a prerequisite for having a good emotional movie when I thought it was just fine when things were platonic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought the diversity stuff he was on point with, though, because like for every person I've seen who said as a kid, like I feel like diversity isn't as important now as it was back then when there was like segregation and stuff, because of course there's still racism, but like I feel like it's at the point where it's like only adults and cynical-minded adults really do care.
Mm-hmm.
That's my onion, but you can have yours.
Yeah, because I see
Either
some
way.
I don't know. I was watching like Jorge Gutierrez's interview with Nick Magazine and stuff. I mean, Nick, the Nickelodeon podcast. My fucking rivals, because I'm like, man, that stupid Nick podcast. They get all the good guests.
Yeah, they get everybody. What's up with that shit?
It's like I feel so.
We're no longer the greatest animation podcast.
Well,
fuckers.
They have a major corporation behind them. We're just like a bunch of dudes.
Yeah,
so.
They're the fucking emperor. They have these people on like blackmail. Like if they don't go on the podcast, like they're gonna reveal like their secret Nazi gold hideout treasury or something.
I love how you're saying that your microphone starts crackling and falling apart, like your anger is literally ruining our podcast.
My rage-fueled anger towards that fucking podcast. Fuck them.
My resolve has never been stronger.
I can't handle someone being better than me.
That's funny because there are millions of people who are better than you.
Whoa.
This is like, look, I got a claim to the fact that I'm hopefully the best cartoon reviewer there is on YouTube. I mean, there's like 2 of them.
What about Mr. Enter?
So I'm the best reviewer on YouTube, apparently.
I made the Rocket Power reviews, so
we gotta plug that. But crap, going back to what I was saying on the podcast. So Jorge Gutierrez was talking about how when he was younger, he was just like wondering, like, man, how come Mexico is always shown so crappily in all these things, and there's no Mexican characters unless they're like a joke character. I don't know, but yeah, go something like that. That's why Star Wars does the thing. I don't know.
The Nicktoons podcast, so I've listened to it, and they have the guests, but the person interviewing the guests is really bland and like not like I would not listen to a podcast of that guy talking. Like he has to have a guest.
Screw you, Hector Navarro, host of Nickelodeon podcast.
Yeah, because he's always like he like just praises everything they do, and he's just like I heard his review of what was it, Phil Lord or not Phil Lord, the guy, the Ninja Turtle, one of the Ninja, and he was just like we loved all that stuff, and he just kept talking like just praising them, and it was like I would like to hear like more of the behind the scenes stuff, like how they fought, how they didn't let him use Bebop and Rocksteady and Turtles 2, like how they felt about selling their shit to Nickelodeon and all that stuff. But
yeah, Hector Navarro needs to get more like honest. Like he needs to say like, "Oh wow, that movie was a piece of shit. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're a fucking failure?"
I mean, to me, Hector Navarro seems like he has like no real opinions of his own. He just likes everything that his generation told him to. That's just what I think. Anyway,
so on everybody on this podcast already.
I'm supposed to be on the Nicktoons podcast next week, so
yeah. Wow. So how is Nuck Force? I would call it Cuck Force.
What's in a generation? 2 people come together and hang out and talk about things, and they just show everything that makes that generation stand for greatness and go, thanks Hank.
And then Ian took all the money and ran.
Fucking Ian.
No comment.
Oh. Yeah. We're sorry, Hector Navarro, for saying these mean things.
I mean,
I'm sorry, Ian.
But yeah.
I'm not sorry to Hector.
Yeah, we never met. We don't know Hector.
Fuck all of you.
Yeah, I should have been at Comic-Con and told Hector to go fuck himself if I had the chance. If he was there, I'm not sure.
But then he would have said something nice to you. You go, Pan, you're one of the greatest cartoon reviewers on YouTube right now. Our whole generation came together hoping that. Sorry.
Oh, it's like, great. How do I hate this guy?
It's a fucking disaster, and Izzy's not here to witness it.
Hector Navarro is the better man who has too much optimism that you just can't hate. It's like
Persona. Pan is like, I am the shadow, the true self.
Hector's like someone who's like, no, Trump for president isn't so bad.
Yeah, just give it a chance, guys. Come on.
I mean, Trump really... Guys, why is everybody so upset about Trump? It's really not that big a deal.
It's like, remember he was in Home Alone? That was funny. I liked him in there.
Yeah, and just like in Home Alone, he steered Kevin in the wrong direction.
Oh shit! The entire events of that movie could have been changed if Donald Trump didn't point Kevin in that direction.
Why didn't Donald Trump say, where are your parents?
Yeah, what the fuck?
No? What's this kid doing in the Plaza Hotel in New York City? Donald Trump could have intervened and taken him to Child Protective Services, but instead he goes, go over there, kid. That's the right way to go. He could have saved Kevin and saved his parents a lot of heartbreak.
Screwed up everything. What were you even talking about?
Sorry.
Yeah, Red Letter Media. So yeah, they're cool, but I don't know. So yeah.
Anyway,
I wasn't. I thought the Force Awakens review was okay.
it didn't hold up to the other ones.
Yeah.
I thought it did, but I guess I'm the minority here.
Yeah. Too many minorities.
Sorry.
I'm the diversity in the podcast, I guess. We've come full circle, like the ring theory.
When you were languishing in rooms I built to file you in, I don't need to walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around in circles, walk around in.
I felt he spent way too much time on that ring theory. Like, was that a real big deal in the Star Wars fandom?
I feel like that was just one of the things that Mike saw and read, and he was like, Jesus Christ, this is so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And he just felt compelled to like rip it apart.
I feel like he could have like shortened that part a lot.
Yeah. I might have skipped a couple parts of, like that part because I was
Yeah.
getting bored. I don't know. This is a problem to talk about this since I haven't seen it since when did it come out? September? Or...
Yeah, somewhere around there. Because I remember we recorded a podcast and I saw he's back. Oh wait, crap! That reminds me. Like for the longest time, like a long time ago, he teased that what next reviews he was gonna do, and one of them was the Matrix Reload, all the Matrix sequels, and that's never happened.
That would be...
Or The
that
Last
actually would be
Airbender.
good.
Oh yeah, but Matrix.
I would
yeah.
I would like the Matrix ones would be perfect for him because it's like no one really went in deep on those. I mean, I'm sure no one really wants to watch the Matrix sequels again, but
Nope.
I would and Avatar Last Airbender as well. I'd be interested because he's done Avatar itself, but the Last Airbender would be cool since that's whoa.
I could do a Last Airbender review. That'd be something.
Yeah, you should. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, we gotta. Did we plug it already?
Yeah, we plugged it several times.
Shit. Okay, don't forget to watch Nolan's YouTube channel where he does something horrible for way too long with a shitty camera from 2008.
Jesus. Yeah, my camera is 10 years old, so I'm gonna buy a new one when I have the money.
Let's all raise money for Nolan's getting a camera that doesn't look like it was recorded on a potato.
If I do the Last Airbender review, I'm definitely gonna bring up race bending.
Oh no!
Because that shit was such a huge deal back then.
I heard if like the shittier a camera is, the more chance you have of recording paranormal activity on it. So just be on the lookout with that camera.
I heard that on a Ghost Hunters.
I hate these ghost hunting shows. Like, they're all the same and they're all recorded in like a night vision green.
Well, yeah, because you can't see ghosts if it wasn't in night vision. Everybody
change
knows
the
that.
color, make it blue. You use a filter to make it blue.
Yeah, but ghosts are green like Slimer. Anyway, sorry.
Oh well.
I actually I haven't recorded Paranormal Activity, but at my old house there was a ton of it.
What the?
It's fucking creepy.
Whoa.
My whole neighborhood actually was haunted to some degree.
Shit.
Was your neighborhood built on an Indian burial ground or something like that?
That's what my mom thinks. She wanted to always look in the history of the neighborhood, but it never really happened. I do remember one story she told me though, which always stuck with me, was that she was home alone and all the kids were at school and Dad was at work, and she was just doing housewife shit. And she looks okay. So my backyard was really expansive because it used to be like, I think like a little pond or something, because there's a drop off, and there's like a huge drop off in the back where a pond would be, and then there's like a little ravine where a small stream would be that separates the neighbor's yard and then the backyard. And we had a big window where you could see the whole backyard and like the neighbor, like kitty corner from us. And their play set was like it was a completely still day, no wind or anything. And one of their swings was swinging, and not like just like swaying a little bit. It was like somebody was actually on the swing using it, except there was nobody there, and the other swing was like completely fucking still. And my mom was just like, "What the fuck?" And she just watched it go for like 15 minutes. Then she went back to do stuff around the house, and then she would check it periodically, and it was still going. And then the last time she checked it, it just stopped. Like, it didn't, like, stop swinging. It, like, slowly stopped swinging. It just literally stopped. Like, somebody stopped it.
Jeez.
Whoa.
Yeah. My neighborhood's fucking creepy, and I saw faces in my house and everything. It was fucking
Whoa.
What
terrible.
the fuck is all this? Now you're just revealing all this stuff now?
Whoa.
I should have done it on the Halloween podcast, probably. But, yeah, I saw a face in my closet once.
Jesus
Whoa.
Christ. Like,
I'm
this
not
is,
making this up.
this is like one of those horror stories, like horror movies, where the character just randomly brings up all these paranormal activities they grew up with just now, suddenly.
Point where the ghost raped you. Right there in the ass. They did it.
Oh.
Whoa.
But yeah, those are stories for another time, though. I've been thinking of doing like a scary story video for some time because I'm so sick of scary story videos that use fucking scare chords and music and shit.
Yeah.
I just want a scary story video where there's like a fire crackling, there's a bit of a wind in the background, and then you just hear me tell the story.
Yeah.
That stuff sucks.
At night, I usually draw with a bunch of these videos of like 10 scary Uber stories or whatever, and every story usually ends with like, I saw some guy, he ran away, I didn't get a good look of him, never saw him again. That's like 50. That's like every single one of those stories.
Whoa.
I feel like we're being so overly cynical on this podcast where we're just bashing on every single thing.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But you guys want to get into the news?
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
This is CNN.
Amy Schumer is in talks for a Barbie live-action film. And by in talks, it means it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You say that.
It's not going to happen.
So she's gonna play Barbie.
They say in talks. Like, I'm like thinking, like, is this clever wording where she's going to be in a movie or is someone else going to play Barbie?
Well, yeah, I don't understand. Like, isn't Barbie's whole thing like, and not to get into like body shaming, but I think I have a bit of a point in that. Isn't Amy Schumer's whole thing that she's like kind of like not the right, not this like stick thin Barbie type of person?
I think so, yeah.
So like, wouldn't her be playing Barbie like mess up the whole ideal of Barbie? Like, I don't understand how
Barbie
that would
for a new
work.
generation.
Yeah, like, are they going to twist it? Are they going to, like, they'd have to do something with it. I'm not trying to say, like, I don't think, if she has a good approach to it, but I think we need to know more about what the angle of this version would be. Because it seems like, that seems interesting, but it is, like, a different, because so much of what Barbie is the idea of, like, that she's like way too skinny and that if she was a real woman, her organs would fall out of her mouth and it'd be this Cronenberg horror thing. So.
They need to make a horror movie where it's that Barbie brought to life. Get one of those like Russian models who did all those surgeries.
Oh, no, you know what? It should be like a woman wishes she could be Barbie and then she wakes up as that kind of physique. Yeah.
Oh.
And she just instantly dies of like a heart attack and falls over.
Oh.
And then her head pops off just like a Barbie's.
Like,
does.
okay, I want it just to be a plastic person in the real world, just walking around and trying to do all these jobs that Barbie has, because Barbie has a billion jobs, except she's good at none of them and has no experience and never went to college or.
Wait, what do you say? What do you say? Barbie's not good at her job? Where do you get this from?
Look, if she has like 50 different skills, then surely
Because she's so good at one, she takes on more. Because she's Barbie.
Quality over quantity. Like, she never worked towards one of them. She just did a bunch of them and failed each one. I mean, like, Homer Simpson has a billion jobs and he's horrible at all of them. Ergo, Barbie is the female Homer Simpson.
I mean, maybe she's the female Peter Griffin, because Homer's only had one job, really.
No, Homer's been an astronaut. He's
You know, I've had a lot of jobs. Boxer, mascot, astronaut, imitation crusty, baby proofer, trucker, hippie, plow driver, food critic, conceptual artist, grease salesman, carny, mayor, grifter, bodyguard for the mayor, country western manager, garbage commissioner, mountain climber, farmer, inventor, smithers, poochie, celebrity assistant, power plant worker, fortune cookie writer, beer baron, quickie mart clerk, homophobe, and missionary. But protecting Springfield, that gives me the best feeling of all.
Oh, well, that's true, but
Yeah, Frank
he's had
Grimes
his
made a
mean
point of it to complain that Homer had 1 billion jobs. You went to space?
Oh, yeah, I love that. He goes, you haven't been? Oh, man, Frank Grimes is the best.
oh,
I would say I wish they brought him back, but then I'm like, no, I don't.
they sort of brought him back twice. Well, his son took
Whoa.
revenge one point, and I think there was a Halloween episode where Frank Grimes shows up. That was about it.
Yeah.
But do you remember this one movie? I think it was with Tyra Banks, and she was like a black Barbie doll, and eventually...
Yes!
Yeah, what was
Oh,
that?
it's
Life size.
Lindsay
Life
Lohan.
size, yes. They already made a Barbie movie. That's it.
Wait, was it with Lindsay Lohan, or is it?
Yes, it was with Lindsay
Oh,
Lohan.
dear. Yeah, so they already made a Barbie movie, a black Barbie movie in like the 90s, so that was already like ultra progressive, so we don't need this Amy Schumer film ever.
Well, if it was like Amy Schumer plays Skipper and like her older sister's Barbie and she like hates how Barbie can do all these things and everyone loves Barbie, that would be cool. I don't know.
Maybe.
I would want to know what the concept is. It just seems like that could be interesting, but just like that flat statement is like, all right, I mean sure.
I mean, I'm not really too worried about Barbie media, to be honest, because they've been pretty on point recently.
Yeah, I heard that show is good.
The Barbie's Life in a Dream House.
House was pretty funny.
Because it's a self-aware parody. It's in the same style as like the Lego movie and the humor, how self-aware it is too. They're just plastic.
I was gonna say I'm also mad they didn't cast the Viner who was like, "Hi, I'm Barbie. Let's go for a ride. What the fuck kind of weather is this?"
Well, the thing is, Vine is dead, so that's never going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, now that person has a lot to do since they don't have Vine, so...
Oh, this reminds me, like, I remember there was some horror movie that said, want to know what happens after this horror movie? Go log on to this website and see what happens.
Oh! I know what movie that is. That's The Devil Inside.
Yeah, okay. And
Oh,
now that
did I tell you?
the website's no longer up anymore.
Wait, did I tell you about seeing that movie?
No, tell us.
Okay, so I saw this movie, and like the day it came out, and the audience was a little rowdy, but like the movie could never win the audience over, and everyone's like laughing at it and stuff like that. And I think one lady yelled at two people talking, goes, nobody came to this movie to hear you two talk. Shut the fuck up. So, it's like, and then she got mad at them. She's like, and what you're saying isn't even interesting. If you're gonna talk during the movie, at least have it be something that I can listen to. And it's like, man, you like not only got mad at them for talking, you got mad at them for being boring also. But anyway, so that had already happened before it, but then it ends and it says, go to this website. And not only did people throw stuff at the screen and boot, like, it was like, I was like, oh shit, is there going to be a riot in this theater? Like, I was scared. I was a little scared. And then when it said the website hit thing, I kept hearing people say, I'm not going to go to that fucking website. Fuck you. There's no way I'll go to that fucking website. And like, people were angry. And I've even heard people who like books about screenwriting talk about that ending and say like how terrible that ending is, and how like I've talked to more people who have flat out refused to ever go to that website. I've never heard of anyone who ever went. I'd be so curious what was there, but I don't even want to know because I hate them so much for that ending. They came up with a new movie. The directors came out called The Boy with the doll boy or something. Yeah. When I found out they directed it, I was like, fuck you. I'm done with you. The Devil, I've never like that's one of the all-time worst movies.
How to destroy your career with one frame.
Yeah, no, and I told people like the Devil Inside people directed The Boy, and they flat out they were like, "Oh, then I'm not going to see it. Never mind." Like it was just like I've never heard of a director like screwing up how the public felt about them just so quickly. And if you look at the box office for that, I think it was #1 one week, and then like flatline the next week because word of mouth spreading. Like, I think its Friday was huge and its Saturday was already down 50%. Like, it was like, I mean, I give them a little bit of props because it's like a kernel of an interesting idea. But if you really thought about it, that's a really horrible idea to be like, to see the real ending. Fuck you.
Log on to this website, which is no longer up, from what I hear.
So if you see that movie on streaming, you're going to be even more mad if you do it.
The devil inside.
That kind of gives me an idea for either one of us could use for a review. If you want to hear our true opinions on this movie, please go to this website or pay $3.99 for the final cut of the video on Patreon.
Oh. Yeah, pledge to my Patreon to see how I really feel about Doctor Strange. And then they'll do it. I'll go, it was cool. And that'll be it.
Hang on, I gotta look it up. I bet some, like, I don't know, Korean soap company bought out the website, possibly. Huh.
Korean soap company?
You never know. That happened to the Nutshack's official website.
If a Korean soap company did, I will buy some Korean soap to support them continually having that website.
Oh. Okay, so apparently it leads to like an AT&T website, a Google search, some sort of Yahoo Google search thing. It says, sorry, the page you were looking for does not exist and it's not available. Thanks for nothing.
Wow. Just like the interest in that movie.
That's so funny. No, if you really think about it, it's kind of like DRM games, you know? Yeah. It's like, why would you do something that is finite and won't last?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna. Why would you make something that's a necessity to understand your story and put it on something that's not going to exist forever? Yeah. Like, is it on the DVD?
It reminds me of, like, the NES game of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where you have to actually call a 1-800 number to progress in the game, except now the phone line is just a sex hotline.
They should be like, to do the sex hotline, press 1. To find out goofy Roger Rabbit tricks, press 2. And then still the people for the sex line are like, Roger Rabbit tricks, okay, number 2.
If I can kind of like go on a quick tangent for a sec, not a too long one, but like,
oh, that's fine.
The AVGN review of Roger Rabbit was so graphic for some reason, like not like visually, but like the way he described it, like, I'm gonna nail Roger Rabbit to the fucking cross. He was so mad. And he's like talking about cutting up Jessica Rabbit and putting her in a fucking trunk or something.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Damn. It's like, James, what? Fuck.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to that review and like, there's no other angry video game nerd where he talk like that. Well, that explicitly.
Yeah, like he swears a lot, but he was never like explicit in his like threats.
Oh my God.
I mean, I guess I understand after seeing The Devil Inside getting that mad when you feel like you haven't seen the full like you feel a little cheated and like lied to because you're like, wait, so I have to do extra work for this? Like, I don't know. It does like make you so angry. It's just like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, and you know it's not going to be very good.
Yeah. But like what Nolan said about DRM, like certain games, like you need to be online to activate and so you can actually play this single player game. But recently I was at GameStop and I bought Disney Infinity, and like GameStop is just clearing out all this crap because they're tired of all these big toy to games stuff. Like they take up so much shelf space, they don't sell it that much anymore. And I just bought a whole pack of them, like the game itself, the pad, the 2 figures for only like $14. And when you open the figures, it gives you like a little code saying, hey, go online and put in this code and download something extra for this character. And I go online, and the thing to input the code is no longer there, so I don't know what I could have gotten. But thanks, Disney. Thanks for whatever.
Wait, how old is this game?
It came out like 2-3 years ago.
What?
Yeah, Disney Infinity. 2 years? I think 2 years ago.
Okay, so what happened was Disney decided to shut down their games division because like games are getting so expensive to make now. Mm-hmm. Like you just can't crank out a cheap one for like cheap and then get big bucks for it. Like it's now, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time because now it's like there's like less room for error and I mean there's less room for shovelware. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, now games are just fucked. But Disney, so they like. Their games division was making Disney Infinity, so without the games division, they can't make Disney Infinity and support it. so they discontinued it.
Yeah.
My question, though, is why they can't just give the assets and like license it out to EA or something, because their go-to game company is EA, like for Star Wars. So it's like,
Oh. What's funny?
or even Activision. Like, I don't get it.
Oh, okay. Here's what's funny. Like, I was researching why Disney Infinity ended, and one of the reasons is they brought up someone Screen Rant. They brought up how apparently the Star Wars Disney Infinity pack took away sales from Star Wars Battlefront. Like, the sales for Battlefront suffered because people wanted to play Disney Infinity Star Wars. So it's like they're competing against themselves.
Well, the reason Battlefront didn't sell super great was because it was a shitty game.
Yeah, it was only like 3 whole maps. I remember Mega 64 did their like end of the year recap, and they were saying,
Best game demo of the year!
Star Wars Battlefront!
Yo, they gave you 90% of the game
That
in the
was
demo!
so nice!
That was really cool!
EA, that was so fucking generous! Good on you,
I
EA!
hate EA.
I feel like Disney Infinity, I feel like it should go on, but without the figures, because producing all these figures, like I have these in my hand right now, and I'm looking at them, and they're really high quality figures. And they're given out for like, I see they're on sale for like $5 each now, because GameStop just says, look, these take up so much shelf space, take them, please. We don't want this crap anymore. The game's dead. It's like this generation's Guitar Hero, because 5 years ago, everybody was buying Guitar Hero, DJ Hero, Rock Band, anything with a peripheral, and these peripherals were so big that they took up so much shelf space, and eventually people stopped buying them because everybody had one already, and then eventually nobody needed these things anymore, and they just went away, just like Disney Infinity is now. But we got a news story, because apparently, according to Liam of Unseen 64, Skylanders is ending. The games, whatever game they released last was final, and the sales for Skylanders have been diminishing. So it's the end of the toy to game market.
Oh yeah, I meant to watch that video, but I never did because it was probably really late, and I was just like, fuck it. Yeah, it's strange how like fads come and go. Like I'm surprised like the motion controls aren't a thing anymore. Now it's like VR. So I wonder what's going to succeed toys. Like what's going to be the thing that replaces toy to games?
Maybe, I guess VR would. I mean, like, I don't hear any good games coming out for VR. Like, is there anything?
Resident Evil 7 is going to be VR compatible. Final Fantasy 15 is VR compatible.
For toys to games, like, all we have left is Nintendo's Amiibos, which don't really do much, and Lego Dimensions.
I mean, but they're like pushing the VR thing. Like, I've seen so many Christmas ads where they're like, oh, and your phone can do VR, and people are like, whoa, look at how amazing it is. But they don't actually show the games.
Yeah.
They just show the people being wowed by them, which is like a weird strategy. But I guess they know the games that are available aren't as good now. I don't know. I haven't done VR yet.
Is Lego Dimensions like online, or I feel like it's not, because
I don't know. I haven't played it. I know it's single player, but I don't know about online.
yeah. If it's not online, then they did good, because like making your game online and having an online component is a terrible idea.
In the long run,
Or
yeah.
in the long run, unless
what?
DRM frustrates the fuck out of me. I hate it.
Because
It's one of the worst things that you can, like, remember when the Xbox One was going to be DRM, like, really, and everybody was like, fuck you, no, absolutely not. And then they changed their minds midway through, but then it didn't change anything, and the console sales just fucking diminished.
and PS4 is succeeding.
Yeah. It's funny, because I think it was either the Xbox 360 or Xbox One. I think it was the Xbox 360 sold one console in Japan recently. The course of a few months.
Whoa.
Just console.
Yeah.
Because like when the next generation comes, the old consoles become cheaper to make, and they just like give them out basically. So like people who like didn't have enough money to buy a console, oh, I can buy this new console. And in Japan, only one person was interested in the Xbox 360.
Oh.
Fucking rest in peace.
How else will they play classics like Blue Dragon? That's a game.
Oh yeah, the Akira Toriyama game.
Yeah, because everyone was like, this looks like Dragon Ball. What the fuck is this? Everyone was so confused. I remember it aired on Toonami, and that was like one of the last shows Toonami played before it ended.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the first time it ended. But yeah, Xbox is not popular in Japan. And I remember, I think the first original Xbox, the big problem when they try to sell it in Japan is that everybody's hands in Japan were too small and the controller was way too big. Because do you guys remember the original Duke controller for the original Xbox?
Yeah. That thing is funny.
It's like a hamburger. That's
no, but like if you remember the controller that came with Nights into Dreams for the Saturn was probably even bigger, all because of a fucking analog stick to control Nights.
Do you guys have like a favorite shitty controller? I don't know if you guys ever seen the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller. It's like a GameCube controller, but shaped like a chainsaw for some reason, and it doesn't look very playable at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Rock Band controllers I didn't like. I didn't like the guitar at all. I hated how I had to strum and press the button at the same time.
Oh, that was annoying, because you're used to...
It's like playing a guitar, wow.
Or like, well, no, you're used to
and I guess
Guitar
I hate
Hero.
Guitar.
No, it's like you're used to Guitar Hero, and then you're switching over to this different thing, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It was just too much.
I remember I was so excited because my grandma got me Rock Band for my birthday. Months later, I just stopped playing it. Gathered dust. I threw it away. I feel so bad that my grandma something that was completely worthless. Like, it's such a novelty shit is so terrible. It's like, you actually think this is the next big thing, and then it sells, and then the market floods, and then it's just like, well, fuck me.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of ruin... The problem with those games is, like, at the beginning, it was about, like hard rock kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as, like, the Beatles got involved, and, like, they're like, let's have all these different kinds of bands, and I'm like, I mean... I thought this was kind of more about, like, more guitar-centric stuff. Like, why don't you just make another game that does that? Like, why have... But to me, that was, like, kind of what diluted it. Because you're like, suddenly, they're like, oh, it's for everybody. And you're like, well, yeah, but I thought it was, like, for everybody, but you had to listen to, like, Steely Dan and stuff.
It used to be about the music.
Yeah, man. It used to be about rocking and writing Led Zeppelin on your binder.
I love that one South Park episode with Guitar Hero.
Oh, yeah. Was it Chasing the Dragon game?
Yes. But at least with Guitar Hero, I really love all those intro cutscenes that they made, all the stylish menu designs. Like some of them by like Robert Valley and all these artists from, I think, Titmouse. Like, they look so great.
Yeah. The one thing I liked about the Beatles game was all the cartoons and cutscenes they had in it. Were actually, like, really amazing.
But recently, well, like last year, they released a new Rock Band and Guitar Hero, I guess, to start the franchise again, apparently.
Yeah, I remember that. That didn't work.
Nah. But
didn't work at all.
They got rid of that, like, the CG characters and, like, during the gameplay. Now it's live-action footage of a concert. And it's like, wow, there's no... All the spirit of the old Guitar Hero is gone. It's just generic footage of a concert playing.
It probably didn't help Guitar Hero that right when it became popular, the economy fell apart. And people were like, wait, I have to spend all this on this plastic guitar? What the fuck? No. I can't buy food.
Everyone was eating their Guitar Hero controllers after that.
I saw people on the street, on the subway, playing their Guitar Hero guitar to make money, but it was really sad.
Oh, you just hear people like going...
Yeah. This is the Sweater Song by Weezer.
Acoustic Guitar Hero.
You give them $1 just because you're like, wow, you need this way more than me at this point. Whoa.
This reminds me, like, I remember there was this one news report of, like, some kid who told his parents, Mom, I want to quit school and become a professional Guitar Hero player. I swear, if I looked this up, I swear this happened, like, and the parents just gave in and said, okay, we'll let you quit school and become a professional Guitar Hero player.
Wait, the news?
This is real. I swear I heard this on someone else's podcast. I heard this on the Cheap Ass Gamer podcast 10,000 years ago.
Oh my god. This is like why.
Let me look up kid.
Oh man.
Kid quit school, Guitar Hero.
Well, wait, before we pass judgment, how good was he though?
I hope he was good, otherwise.
I mean, was he like, if he was that good, I mean, hey, maybe he was Maybe he was really good, or maybe he's that kid I saw on the subway playing the Weezer song.
Oh my god, okay, like I looked it up and there's a report by Giant Bomb that says, whatever happened to Blake Peebles? Oh no, it's a forum chat. The kid who dropped out of school, that was his name, Blake Peebles. I'll read this later, but wow, what an ass. I'm sure it took him afar.
What I wish someone had made a new version of the Wizard in the late 2000s where he's the kid with the power glove and these other kids were trying to get to the finals. He's like, I love this Guitar Hero guitar. It makes me feel so bad.
And at the end, there's like a power outage and you can't play Guitar Hero anymore. And some
Wasn't that guy that wasn't Lucas a pedophile?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think he turned out to be, yeah. What's funny about the Wizard is I remember when it came out and I was like pretty young, like 5 or 4 or something like that. And even then, I remember a kid, like when they did the Power Glove scene, a little kid, like 5 or under, went, "This is a fucking ad," and like we shut it off because we all realized it was a commercial.
Wow, how old were you guys? What the hell?
I mean, it was the 80s.
You guys were self-aware this quickly? What the fuck?
I just remember like kids were not accepting the Wizard. I do remember like I didn't really have fond memories of it because every time some kid would be like this is an ad, what are we doing and stuff, and we'd all get like, we'd suddenly go like, we're not going to put up for this. We'll go watch our G.I. Joe's cartoon, which is clearly not an ad, but. I don't know. I do remember that, and it was weird when I got older, and people were like, "Don't you remember liking the Wizard?" And I was like, "You mean that ad? What are you talking about?" It's like very weird. So,
although it's funny, in the early 2000s, I remember Nickelodeon playing that film. I don't know why, and it always confused me because my first Mario game was Super Mario World, and I don't really at all remember the NES. So I was like, "This is a Mario game? This looks weird. What is this?"
Oh, you know, wow, that's funny.
Like, my parents tell me that I did play a lot of NES, but I don't remember at all playing it. So I could have... I don't know, they said I was, like, really good at the game, like, better than everyone else as, like, a 2-year-old. So every time the Wizard comes up, they compare me to that one kid, and it's like, no, that kid has problems. No. Don't compare me to him. God, no. But yeah.
Now that guy's a pedophile, it makes it even creepier, where he's like, I love wearing the Power Glove. It makes me feel so bad. Doesn't he say so bad or something?
Yeah, he's like, I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Oh, because it was right after Michael Jackson put out Bad, so people were saying that.
It's funny because he turned out to be bad eventually.
Yeah, he turned out to be actual bad, not like the bad that means cool.
How
just like
fucking
the bad
dare you besmirch Michael Jackson?
I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad.
I mean, this podcast is definitely the first time anyone's besmirched Michael Jackson's name with child molestation.
Oh, yeah, you think it would happen sooner, but it didn't. It kept. Yeah, time to discuss, like, Michael Jackson. Was he guilty? Yes or no?
Yes.
Fuck.
Didn't he fucking leave the country?
No, he came back.
No, he didn't leave. Well, it turned out the person who I think had the family who accused him in the 90s, that was the bigger high profile case. It turned out that was a scam.
Yeah.
But there are other cases that were not, that were probably.
We all know he was in Macaulay Culkin.
So it's all a scam. It never happened.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, Macaulay Culkin had private moments with him. He went to his funeral. They were lovers.
Wait, do you like Michael Jackson a lot, or is it just you don't want to get sued?
Oh, bit of both.
Hey, I like Michael Jackson as well. He's awesome.
Yeah,
guys, there's a secret song Michael Jackson wrote, and it's a love song to Macaulay Culkin.
Is it? Is that the song? Willy 3?
It's lost media, Pan. You should be interested.
There's
in this.
no such thing.
Is it that song? Because he made a song for Free Willy 3, not 1 or 2.
Free Willy 3?
Yeah, no, I think it's Free Willy. Now I'm gonna have to look this up. Hold on. I think it was Free Willy 3. Hold on.
The
Free
third one?
Willy 3. I think it has a subtitle. Oh, sorry. Free Willy 3: The Rescue. I'm sorry about that.
He escaped already. Free Willy escaped. We don't need a third one.
Well, no, they're gonna rescue him.
Did he get stuck in like a coral reef?
Maybe he didn't do the song Free Willy. Maybe it was Free Willy 2, The Adventure Home. Oh, wait, it is. It's Free Willy 2. I'm sorry.
Remember? Wait, fuck! I even forgot it. Never mind.
Oh, there's a Free Willy 4. Sorry, Free Willy Escape from Pirates Cove.
Remember when he was gonna have a final concert tour, you guys, and then he fucking died?
Wait, Free Willy or Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson. Free Willy concert tour, of course.
Yeah, I remember that. That was.
Yeah, because that's what the This Is It movie. What a weird documentary. Let's see him rehearse for a concert tour that never happened and make a documentary about it.
Oh man, but I think Free Willy's concert tour would be amazing. I love the song that goes.
He does a great cover of Loving You. My cat just looked at me like, what are you doing?
Summoning a whale.
Oh, remember the
Free
South
Willy
Park
no Jutsu.
where they send the whale to space?
What?
You remember that?
That happened in Free Willy? What?
No, in the South Park where they sent a whale to space. Remember that one?
Well, I mean, if there's no, I mean, like, fish don't need air to breathe, ergo, they can go into space.
Wait, have you not seen this South Park where they the whole plot of it is they go to a SeaWorld and these two announcer teenagers convince the boys that the whales are aliens from another planet, and the boys try to find a spaceship to launch the whale into space so he can go back home.
Nope, I never saw that one.
Oh, I don't know what episode it is, but you should. That one's so good. It's like my favorite.
I never grew up with South Park, so I didn't watch every single episode.
It was like a later one, I think. It was like in the 2000s, I believe.
Speaking of people who escaped the law from other countries, I remember, like, yesterday I was on Gables' stream, and for some reason we brought up Girls Gone Wild, and I was like, whatever happened to the creator? Because I know he got in trouble, and apparently he's hiding out in Mexico for some sort of bankruptcy thing and not turning in his 2 cars that he bought with his millions of dollars at the time. So if anybody in Mexico sees him, be sure to invite him on the podcast for me.
Nice.
Remember all the commercials you'd have to see for that late night on Comedy Central? Yeah,
which always got awkward if I was with my parents. Like, sometimes we would watch this one show called Maximum Exposure, which was like this, it just showed car crashes and other viral videos before the internet. And, we're just trying to have a family moment just watching rioters, car crashes, and this thing pops up and it's like, whoa, tone it down. You can't just show this.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children. Girls Gone Wild travels year-round, coast to coast, meeting thousands of hot co-eds to find the cutest, sexiest girls in the country.
Yeah, I never saw a real tape of it. I just saw the commercial.
No one saw a real tape of those. But they were everywhere, and then they just disappeared. The end of an empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just hiding out in Mexico. But does anyone remember the video game, The Guy Game?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, because there was this video game. It was basically Girls Gone Wild, the video game, except it was like live action footage, and it was like a quiz show that if you succeeded, you see the girls topless. Although now that game is considered child pornography because one of the girls on there turned out to be 17. But what's even more interesting is that this was filmed in South Padre Island, just an hour away from me. So I couldn't have been there, but it's like, wow, this historic game took place just an hour away from me. Wow. Incredible.
You should go. Just go look.
Yeah, just like have a museum tour. Just like that's the part. That's where the 17-year-old showed her tits, and now the game's banned.
This is why we don't make erotica games anymore.
Yeah, not with live action. Like cartoons, you can get away with cartoons. No one will question it. Well, mostly no one. Like Evangelion, everyone's 14, but everyone wants to bone them for some reason. Even Bruce Timm drew smutty art of these 14-year-olds. But anyway, let's Next question.
Asuka is the premier Evangelion waifu, except she's not. Misato is the best one. You're all fucking pedos.
Yeah, Ray.
Why have Asuka or Rei when you can have Misato? Come on now.
Was she from the rebuilt movies?
No, Misato. No, that was
Right,
Mari.
That was a purple-haired girl, yeah.
No, the purple-haired girl is Misato. She was in every Evangelion series.
I was trying to remember who that girl with those glasses were.
The brown hair and the glasses is Mari Illustrious Makinami.
Is that her full name?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Illustrious or Illustrious?
That is a fucking stripper name. Illustrious? No.
Makinami.
That is not real.
I could have gotten it slightly wrong, but to my recollection, that's what it is.
But do you guys want to get into the next bit of news? Because I don't know how we dwell into
Jim.
this.
Oh,
Jim.
what is it?
Favorite waifu, go.
From what?
From anime.
From anime? I don't know.
Is it if you're gonna say Motoko Kusanagi because you've only seen Ghost in the Shell and you're a faggot?
Oh, hey, Nolan, you weren't here when we talked about
Oh
Ghost in the
yeah, we
Shell.
need to hear your about Ghost in the Shell.
The trailer?
Well, in general, I guess the new movie, because the trailer came out and you didn't talk about it because you weren't here.
Oh, I'm excited for it. I know it's not going to be like as good as the anime is, but all I really want from this movie is a fun action movie with Ghost in the Shell characters, and I think that's what I'm going to get. So,
that's actually a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah.
Like DigiBro, I love his videos, but he was like very, very upset about the trailer, and I was like, yeah, but it's Hollywood. You know, you're not going to get an intellectual film from Hollywood, so you're not going to get a film that questions existentialism or whatever. I just want a fun action movie with Ghost in the Shell characters that isn't super stupid. That's just and it looks like a very basic I'm going to find out about my past thing, which is not hard to fuck up. So, and I mean, we all know Snow White and the Huntsman wasn't like an interesting movie or it wasn't a good movie, nor was it a bad movie. It was just kind of meh from what I hear. Like, it was just boring. So if anything, like, I feel like the director's competent enough to make a competent movie.
Because every time we bring up this movie, Jim always says, like, yeah, but he directed Snow White and the Huntsman. Fuck
Well,
yeah.
I think because for so long I kept hearing about this Ghost in the Shell movie, and it was going to be James Cameron, or it was going to be Spielberg, or it was going to be like these big people who, if they had done Ghost in the Shell, I would be interested. But it feels like they just went, look, we have this property, we have a release date, we could put something out on. Who will do it? And I mean, I guess I'm like, I will. I mean, yeah, it's like I wasn't excited for the next movie from that guy, but I'm kind of like, okay, fine. I don't know, but I mean, I guess I'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I really want to air my grievances, because I heard DigiBro say it again. I suck DigiBro's dick all the time, but he said that he really hated it when Motoko ran on a wall in the movie because he thought that was unrealistic. Well, she fucking backwards up a set of stairs. What the fuck do you think she's gonna do? Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous.
She's a robot. That's my contribution. She's a robot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, it's like he even says in the video that she comes close to that, but not quite. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
Well, she's agile, so it'll make sense.
Yeah. Another thing that I really liked about the trailer was that it just I think Scarlett Johansson will do a good job, honestly. Like I'm like, I know she's not your Japanese or whatever, which is unfortunate. I'm not going to say that whitewashing is okay, but I feel like she can sell the serious side of the Major pretty well, because the Major and she can also do feminine but not like girly.
Yeah.
Like,
well, she's good at doing action, but also there's this movie she did, I think it was 2 years ago, called Under the Skin, where she plays like an alien basically. And it was a really good and kind of interesting and almost like kind of arty performance from her, which you don't really expect considering most of the stuff she's in. So like this, I do think she could like meld her kind of more Lucy or Black Widow stuff with her role in Under the Skin, and
Yeah.
she could do something interesting with that. But yeah,
people are saying this is going to be Lucy 2.0, and I kind of see that, but I kind of understand where you're coming from in that she's just playing a serious female badass. But my counter argument is Ghost in the Shell won't have fucking Motoko is using 100% of her brain.
yeah, no, that Lucy was I think Lucy's biggest problem was it didn't have enough action. It was all that stuff where she like could control time and stuff. Like that got a little much, as I recall.
So if anybody's writing any story that involves using 100% of your brain, just throw it out, please.
Yeah.
But like now, obviously with Ghost in the Shell and this futuristic city, every single person is going to compare it to Blade Runner. Like you can't make a futuristic city anymore without comparing it to Blade Runner, ever.
I mean, I think they were when they made it, they used Blade Runner as an influence. Mm-hmm. So
I'm surprised the Wachowskis weren't just like, hey guys, we'll do it.
Yeah, that's a good point. If they were going to do it, I think that would have been a good way to come back too.
Well, counter argument: when have fans ever made good things? No. Let me be more specific. When have fans of a certain property that get in control of a certain property ever do good things?
I mean, I guess like Sam Raimi when he did the first two Spider-Man movies, but not the third.
And then
but
Spider-Man
the third wasn't
came out, and then your argument became invalid.
But I don't think three's problem was him being too much of a fan.
Yeah.
Three's problem was something else.
Is he a fan of Spider-Man?
Oh yeah, you can tell in the first two because he takes like exact panels and covers and stuff and plot lines.
Yeah.
Well, so did Zack Snyder.
Yeah, no, but like in ways that like naturally were, because 1 and 2, especially 2 are really good, and even like Peter Jackson with the Lord of the Rings, but not the Hobbit. But the Hobbit again, actually the Hobbit's problem was
you keep saying stuff like, oh, these directors did good things, and then it's like, yeah, but they also did terrible things later. So
that doesn't. I mean, there's a lot of people who do. It's like those movies are good. There's good examples of it, but then those people, Peter Jackson made 3 ones that work, and he made sacrifices. Like he took out all the songs in Lord of the Rings, and there's a lot of things he adapted it in a way to get it to work. But then in The Hobbit, he
Lord
went.
of the Rings was a musical.
No, there's songs in the book, I think, and stuff. But like then in The Hobbit, he like totally screwed it up and went way too fan service and did a lot of dumb, weird, strange shit. So it's like I think he at least made 3 movies that he was such a big fan of it. But Zack Snyder, for example, has publicly said he was not a fan of the DC stuff coming in. He was more of a fan of heavy metal, the heavy metal comics, and Watchmen. But I don't know if someone necessarily has to be a fan or not. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
I want someone who's not a fan of something to reboot something in their own style, because people were bringing up, talking about the new comic book of the Flintstones, where it's like this serious romantic drama now of the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah, I've heard interesting things about that. I haven't read it, though.
So I'm curious to see more people just like reboot something they hated and make it into something they love. Although that kind of happened with J.J. Abrams and Star Trek.
Well, yeah, then it's like that works as well, where it's like the first Star Trek's good and the second one is like awful.
Where it just became a remake of a...
Isn't there a pattern for Star Trek movies?
Yeah. The odd numbers or the even numbers are the good ones?
The even numbers are typically the good one. Or no, the even numbers are the good ones. The odds are bad, but not all of them. Because
do you like Wrath of Khan, Jim?
Yeah, I love Wrath of Khan. What do you mean?
Okay.
Into Darkness or the?
I thought Wrath of Khan was the second one, and you just said the second one was. Oh, you're talking about the new ones. Okay.
The new one, Into Darkness. The new franchise works in the reverse because 1 and 3 I like, 2 I don't like at all. Mm-hmm. So I think, but then it's like that's the reverse theory where like I think the first Star Trek does a really good job of setting everybody up and like getting you really in love with Star Trek. But then, or the first one, I mean, and then the second one, it all falls apart. So like I think in a lot of times with these directors and their fan service or non-fan service, it's usually like they should have left the franchise before, and they just kept them around, and it didn't. Or in some cases they should have never been there. But
it's also a problem with kind of like the sort of status quo for Hollywood storytelling for action and comic book movies and adaptions. This is something Plinkett mentioned in the Force Awakens review, and going back to that real quick, he said that most plots now are either a revenge story or a doomsday weapon or something of that sort. And I feel like that definitely needs to change because, like, I think Doctor Strange was so liked because, like, it was so fresh and interesting because was it a revenge story or like?
I mean, like, sorta, but it's not the forefront of it at all. Because, like, the whatever the main villain is, whose name I forget now. He was definitely, that's why he was mad at the Ancient One, but that's not what the movie's about. It's more about Doctor Strange than anything. And his story isn't really about revenge. It's about kind of becoming a better person, which is like most of the Marvel movies. Is like the whole arc is by the end they're a better person than when they started it. Except for Civil War. That shit just... nobody felt good about themselves afterwards.
Crap, what were we talking about?
Yeah, sorry,
something about Ghost in the Shell. But yeah, that's a movie.
So in Monsters Trucks news...
Even my mom wants to see that movie. Like, she sees how terrible it looks.
What movie?
Monster Trucks.
Monster Trucks is going to be amazing.
She told me it looks terrible and she wants to see it also just for how bad it is.
My mom loves movies that are terrible. Not even ironically. She's like, oh no, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Oh. Like this, when I saw The Last Airbender and I had my hopes and dreams ripped apart, she was like, that was a good movie. I really liked that movie.
Sorry.
Yeah, and even when I bring it up today, like to this day, 6 years later, she's like, oh, I liked that movie. I thought it was cute. Mom.
You're embarrassing me, but you guys want to get into the last bit of news?
Okay.
All right, so actor Joaquin Phoenix and Gus Van Sant are actually making a biopic on the cartoonist John Callihan, who you may know as the creator of Pelswick. What happened to him was that when he was in his 20s, he had a lot of alcohol problems, but he got into a car accident and became handicapped and could barely move any of his body. But somehow he found a passion for drawing stuff, and that's how he started his cartooning career and created Pelswick, several comics for, I think, The New Yorker or something pretentious, and some other cartoon. But yeah, we're going to have a biopic of that guy.
That's cool.
I'm not familiar with Gus Van Sant or Joaquin Phoenix.
I mean, I know Gus Van Sant, but he hasn't been good in, like, forever. I mean, I don't know. He's kind of like, I mean, I guess the thing most people have seen that he's done is Good Will Hunting, but I'd also like to bring up that he directed the remake of Psycho.
Uh-oh.
So, I mean, he definitely, like, was an indie director before, like, he did, like, My Own Private Idaho, and, like, he does have a decent reputation, but for every movie of his I like, there's, like, an equal number of them that I hate. So, like, if you ever saw Elephant about the school shooting, that one was so horrible.
What? Wait, go on. This sounds like interesting.
He made this movie about a school shooting movie called Elephant, and it was like getting all this praise. And then I saw it that weekend, and I remember like just being so just really being bored by it, and it wasn't very interesting. I just remember talking to anyone who'd seen it would be like, "What the fuck was that?" Like that seemed to be like the common consensus with that, because it was supposed to be his big artistic statement, and then it like got out of the festival circuit and people actually saw it, and it was one of those where audiences went, "What the fuck?" Like nobody liked it.
What was his message? Like, school shootings are bad.
Well, I mean, this is like, I think it came out in 2003 or something like that. And like a lot of it was like, there's a part where the popular girls go to the bathroom to like throw up their lunch. Like it was very cliched, like worse than like,
oh my God.
It was like, but it was trying to be arty. So it's like not Degrassi or like, you know, like Beverly Hills 90210, where you like kind of while you're watching it, you get that it's a little cliched and stuff. So like, I think, again, I haven't seen this in like over 10 years. So, but I remember one of the problems with it is that it's trying to be all arty and kind of more real, I guess, in its cinematography, but also trying to be like this kind of idealed, kind of very cliched version of high school, and those kind of butt heads so often. It's like, if you wonder why.
So there was a huge disconnect.
Yeah, it's like when you watch Mean Girls, you know, and it's like shot like very colorful and like,
and then Mean Girls has a school shooting scene.
Does it?
No.
No.
Is that the director's cut?
Oh, no.
You know, it's funny. I watched a big part of Mean Girls last night, and I still went, "Wait, it does?" But like Mean Girl, the reason teen movies are made in that way is because it's like it like heightens their own kind of unreal sense of reality, I guess. And this is like it. He didn't know how to get the aesthetics and how he was telling the story to meld together. So it was like you're right. It's like a disconnect that he could never get to work. It looked like some old dude who was making a movie about high school, which he was. So
that's a director. What do you guys want to get into the questions?
We kind of went off on tangent this one.
Yeah,
it was really fun.
This is the tangent cast.
I prefer when that happens. Yeah,
it's sort of like poetry. They rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, that's something that guy from the Nicktoons podcast couldn't do. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw you, Alex Navarro. Oh no, wait, that's
take that, douchebag.
Oh, wait, I think Alex Navarro was from GameStop. Never mind.
Sorry, Alex Navarro from GameStop, but you're probably a douche too because you are part of GameStop.
Oh man, that was no. Have you guys ever watched like the early era of like GameStop? I mean GameSpot, the review site, because that was like one of my main inspirations for the reviews, because occasionally GameSpot reviews, like this professional reviewing site, would occasionally just have like some stupid, pointless review that doesn't really tell you anything about the game. It's just the reviewer reacting in disgust to the game itself, and it was like pre-YouTube, so this is all we had for video reviews. I don't know. I'll link what's called the Don't Play This series in the description, because I loved it so much. But whatever. You guys want to get into questions?
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Good morning, Angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
This game sucks.
Yeah, I know.
You go, Alex!
Right. Oh, by the way, we have the Fan Junk playlist. If you have a video related to RebelTaxi, be sure to post it and be sure to send it to me in RebelTaxi@yahoo.com, and I'll put in the Fan Junk playlist, a playlist related to anything RebelTaxi or this podcast or whatever related to me.
And if you want to make more Nolan fan art, that'd be appreciated.
We have the Fan Deviant Art and the Fan Reddit.
Make more Nolan stuff. Make it all terrible like you guys do.
Nolan's starting his video YouTube career.
I guess so. I hear YouTube's algorithm is fucking over creators again, so I'm just like, I'll do it as a hobby, but I doubt it'd be a job.
What they do this time.
Hold on, let me go back and cut this out because I'm going to be looking for a second.
Okay, we'll just cut
it's back. I reblogged this earlier in the podcast, but yeah, PewDiePie quit and then he unquit, and apparently the reason is because of YouTube's new algorithm. So let me get that post.
Oh, because the subscriptions are being weird and analytics haven't been working, and
basically what they're doing is dropping subscribers from these popular channels if you haven't watched their videos on a daily basis, and their daily videos aren't getting X amount of views. Mm-hmm. So basically, YouTube is just catering to people who will pay them directly rather than just get them better ad revenue. So they're like basically strangling their popular content creators.
So basically, you had to bribe YouTube to get successful.
Yeah.
Okay, so I gotta look into that so I can hey, YouTube, please put me on the front page. Surely someone wants to see my crap.
Their algorithm has never made a lick of sense. So I'm not gonna act like this is that much better or something. Because sometimes they just go through a wave of like destroying old channels that have been there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly
it's like they just want to do. They do whatever the fuck they want. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much what
has
been always going on.
If you ever watch Critical's videos, he always he always explains it really well, because apparently YouTube, without as much money as it's making, hosting all these videos still drains Google, and Google doesn't shut down YouTube since they don't want to have competition for someone else to make a streaming service, or a video service or something. I don't know. I can't explain it.
YouTube is their least profitable website, apparently.
It makes money, but not enough to host all these videos that are not profitable. Because there's all these assholes uploading like 4 hours of finger songs, preschool stuff. I don't know. Because if you go on YouTube, look up finger songs, there are a billion videos of like these weird Gmod, CGI, multicolored Spider-Man singing nursery rhymes on loop endlessly. And that's what a lot of YouTube is.
I mean, I don't know. Didn't YouTube Red take off? Wait, so nobody saw my YouTube Red exclusive videos?
Oh, shit. Well, tell us about these classic videos.
Well, I directed this. It's kind of a YA thing. There's some YouTube people, and it's called The Thinning. I wrote and directed that.
Oh boy.
Did you see that? It's pretty good.
Tell us about it, Jimbo.
So it's like, sorry. So it's like this movie, and if you don't make good grades, then they kill you. And these teens are like, "How you can't do that? You can't kill us for being stupid. We're gonna fight back." And then I don't want to tell you how it ends, but basically it either works out or doesn't, I think.
Come on, guys. They can't kill us if we're stupid. We can kill ourselves. Jumps off cliff.
You're like, what? I gotta see. I think that's... to be honest, I didn't do a very good job directing it. I was kind of not really into it, but, it definitely thinned my patience.
Oh. But let's get into questions.
Okay.
If anybody has a question, be sure to start out with the word question and post them on the YouTube comments here. And our first question is, quit lying around. What's one of the worst things about your favorite cartoons? Mine is that Steven Universe has no real plot direction, in my opinion, mostly because there is no main threat on the show currently. So favorite worst thing about favorite shows?
First off, it sounds like this guy doesn't actually like Steven Universe, but
I'm gonna do two because I'm gonna obviously talk about Symbionic Titan because No, it's really quick. I really hate the sound design. It's terrible. It's like it's literally like a fucking freshman in college edited the sound, because they repeat the same explosion effect over and over and over again, and the audio mixing is garbage. It's literally the worst aspect of the show. Is the sound designer was an idiot.
This reminds me of that one where they played the Flock of Seagulls song. I remember it just abruptly cuts to not playing it. Like they have a montage and it's happy, and then it just abruptly cuts it off.
Yeah.
I hated that.
God, I'm trying to think of another thing a favorite show did. Well, I've obviously said ad nauseum about Adventure Time, and that I actually feel guilty like shitting on Adventure Time too much. Whereas I don't feel guilty praising Symbionic Titan to God's green, to the infinite reaches. But
it's almost over.
Symbionic Titan is never coming back. But I guess with Steven Universe, I hate. I really hate how there are things I don't like about Steven Universe, like you guys go ahead and I'll think about it.
He's overwhelmed. Well, for one thing, one of the worst things I hate about some of my favorite shows is that it only lasted 6 episodes. But that's not the show's fault.
Well,
let's see.
See, I have to. Most of it, what I hate about them is being unavailable and no one knowing about them.
Yeah.
But that's not the show. I guess things about the show I don't. I guess I don't love at regular shows in space. I'm not gonna lie. That's like something I'm not really into these episodes.
I feel like they gave up and it's like, look, this is what all the 80s cartoons do, so let's just do this.
I mean, I liked it. Who was the guy for the Infinite?
Owen.
Yeah, when he was on and he said like literally at the office, they went like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to space. It's like, I feel like that is the attitude they had, and the episodes themselves aren't horrible or anything, but it doesn't feel the same where when they used to have a task to do, it'd be like simple, like we have to go set up the chairs or we have to get a grilled cheese from Grilled Cheesers. And now it's like, I know those are season 1 examples, but whatever. But like, or even when they had the dome, like Benson wanted to hang out with this girl, so he went and got hot wings or something. Like, and then they make it sci-fi under that concept. And this is like, yes, he has to go get a wallet, but it's at another planet. And then Mordecai like almost is engaged to a bug alien person. And I'm like, this is just like not going in a weird, I don't know. I still like it and I watch it, but I'm not in love with it the way I used to be.
Yeah.
I gave up on regular show a long time ago because it was just getting too formulaic for me. But I finally came up with Steven Universe.
Oh boy.
Okay, so Steven Universe copies anime tropes way too fucking much. And what I specifically mean by tropes is like the big googly eyes, the sweat drops, and they never really seem to copy anime directing techniques at all. Like, anime is like, the reason I like anime more than Western animation is because the directing is usually a lot more experimental. And I know that sounds like a huge fucking weeaboo thing to say, but I feel like from what I kind of true.
Oh, hang on.
You get really rich movies with great direction. You don't get great rich West direction from stuff other than Korra, maybe. But like, for example, there are scenes in Steven Universe where it's just boring shot, reverse shot shit. And then everything's just very boring in terms of direction. But they never seem to copy like anime directing at all or anything.
What is anime directing exactly?
Like techniques from anime directors, like again going back to sucking Digibro's dick, he did a great video on Evangelion's top 10 directing techniques, and he mentioned a lot of the interesting things, like, for example, characters in a shot will, like, characters instead of doing shot reverse shot will be placed in the same frame together, so that it draws your eye across the frame, but it also gets the information out just as well without having to do some boring shot reverse shot cuts.
Yeah.
And he mentioned a whole ton of other things. And Steven Universe doesn't really do that. Steven Universe is very, very basic, because you can tell it was kind of boarded by people who were sort of new. Like, some people had or people who weren't really good. Ian Jones Cordy. But yeah, so that's what I mean by anime, like techniques from anime, you know, like they don't employ any of those techniques that I've seen or like picked up, like something I learned in my principles and elements of design class, and I hope to God I'm not sounding pretentious when I'm talking about this, because I feel like I am a little bit. But I just want Steven Universe to have a richer visual design. But mainly, like, I was watching Perfect Blue by Satoshi Kon, and the teacher was like trying to get us to analyze the movie and how it's shot. And there's this scene in the film where the main lead, she's a pop idol singer who's becoming an actor. And she's reading this blog about her when she was like a pop idol singer and was made by a fan. And like they get these things right about her, and she thinks it's funny at first. But then like they start getting really, really specific, and things like she's only said in private with like 2 or 3 other people. And she starts like freaking out. And then the scene starts being shot like from outside her window, and like all in like different shots of her room. And it gives off the idea that she's you're like a peeping Tom peeping in on her, which is really creepy, but also great directing. And I know that's not just anime, but that's like general good direction in general, but like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I just want my TV shows to be better directed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, this is Western animation, so.
Damn, what do you have against Ian? Asshole.
Do you want me to answer honestly?
Jim's here. I don't know.
What?
Well, I don't. It's not like I hate him personally. It's just as an artist, every kind of philosophy I've heard from him is terrible and goes against every philosophy I have as an artist. Like, obviously, there's a huge kind of he's had more experience than I have, which is fair. But he says stuff like being on model is boring,
It is.
and like being off model is good.
Yes.
But like, but like. When he's like when it's like off model, I feel like he means exaggerating the model. Because when I think off model, I think of when in Steven Universe, Amethyst is all of a sudden almost as tall as Pearl.
Does that happen?
Yeah, she's portrayed as tall as Steven, but then in one shot she's like I forget which shot specifically, but she was like almost as tall. She was like half as tall as Pearl was, and then there are other shots like that one episode where they like confront Peridot's the screen in the kindergarten, and like Peridot's like, I'm going to report this, and you see Steven, and he's like looking back and forth between the gems and Peridot, and his head is all of a sudden really swollen and ugly looking. And like that's when I feel like that's what he's talking about when it's off model. I'm like, no, that doesn't look good. That looks awful. Like when you exaggerate the model, like the show does exaggerate the model and it looks really good sometimes. But then there are also times where it literally just looks like a completely different character. Like another thing he did for Adventure Time was the assassination episode where Ice King hires an assassin, I believe, and Finn was drawn with like shoulders and like it broke his model completely and it looked ugly and gross and it was distracting the whole time. And like a lot of people share my sentiments, so...
Jesus Christ. You just go on. Holy crap.
Well, you asked, and I'm giving my honest answer.
I don't know. Like, maybe one day we'll get Ian on so he can yell at you. I don't know.
Why do you want to yell at me? I'm just being honest.
Like, Ian, if you're listening, please come on the podcast and tell Nolan what's up or something. I don't know.
Please teach me how to animate like you, senpai.
Oh...
Watashi wa I'm sorry desune.
Oh.
You guys on Steven Universe like anime, right? I was trying to appeal to you.
Everyone's a weeb.
That was really... I've been savage this whole podcast.
We've been salty.
Because I don't know what to say here, because it's like, Jim, you know Ian, so it's like, I don't know.
Oh, how much of this is in at this point?
I don't know. How much... Should I cut anything out?
I mean, anything Nolan says, that's, That's
Nolan's problem.
Well, no, that's, Nolan said it honestly. I didn't say anything bad. I don't need to be worried.
Jim said Ian is an asshole.
I never said that, did I say
You
that?
totally said that.
Maybe we should cut that out.
And he said Coolsville sucks.
Yeah, just Photoshop that Fred picture from when he says, I think Coolsville sucks, just put Ian Jones-Cordy's face on it.
Yeah, so you guys want to get into the next question?
Yes.
Okay.
Crizzy Boy says, what do you think of the new Cars 3 trailer? Or the teaser?
Okay, look, there's... When everyone heard about Cars 3, right? And everyone was like, Cars 3, are you fucking kidding me? That was pretty much what the consensus was. And now they come out with a dark trailer and everybody's like, oh, Cars 3, I'm interested. And I even hear people say that in the theater. I'm like, you guys, all the trailer shows me is that Disney has an amazing marketing team and can trick anybody into seeing anything.
I'm not interested in the movie because I think it's going to be good. I'm interested in the movie because I think it'll be fucking hilarious.
I just think it'll be so bad. It's like, there's no way Cars 3 will be good, but the fact that we've gotten so many people interested and that we're actually going to talk about Cars 3 is like, if they had put out a Cars 3 trailer how it really is and Tater's like, get her done, dirt, 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 no one would care. But because they did like the Iron Man 3 trailer, but with cars, everyone's down for it.
No, I mean, most people I've seen are like, this is going to be so fucking funny, terribly bad. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like,
Which I guess, I mean, they still get the ticket, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who hasn't seen the teaser, it just shows like a very muted colored version of the racetrack from Cars, and Lightning McQueen, the main character, gets fucking wrecked on camera in slow motion being destroyed into pieces, and it just says summer 2017.
Yeah.
But I guess that what I said raises the question. I mean, does it really matter if you support the movie when depending on what your attitude is? Like, I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter. Money's money. It doesn't. Disney doesn't care. You know, there's not like there's a thing called ironic dollars. You know,
Yeah,
dollars get put in the same bank whether they're ironic or not.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I've noticed that this trailer got a lot more attention because it was different, and I was like, man, fucking Disney. Just
Disney got it in the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they have a good marketing team because look at, like, I think I've said it on here and other places that the smartest thing the marketing about Doctor Strange did is that they don't show you the best special effects in the trailers, which is like what every action movie does. So that when you go, there's still things to be wowed at, and that's a smart marketing department. And I see it again with Cars 3. I mean, they're just like really good at getting you to go to the theater or talk about their movie. And Cars 3, that dumb teaser is another example of them doing it. Although I don't think Pixar has like great trailers, except for maybe the Incredibles teaser was pretty good.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, this is probably one of their better, or at least a trailer that gets you talking, which is, you know, probably something they needed for a movie that no one really wanted.
Yeah, so at least the trailer looks good, and the real movie's just going to be probably like the same old crap for all we know.
It'll probably be he'll break down, and then he'll have to be stuck in a small town when he's a big race car.
I want him to be suicidally depressed. I want him to look at a bunch of those, like, you know, those things like that stop you from like backing up into something, those spikes.
Oh,
I just want him to stare at those, and he just thinks, just move forward, lightning. Just move forward.
just like Disney said, keep moving forward.
He could do like the last thing Walt Disney wrote before he died was Kurt Russell, and right before he drives off a cliff, he'll go Kurt Russell, and then that's a true story. Look that shit up. Last thing Disney wrote before he fell over and died was Kurt Russell. I'm like, what did Kurt Russell do?
Is Kurt Russell still alive?
Oh yeah, no, he was in Fast and Furious 7.
Why don't we ask Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell will don't ask him. Everyone who's asked him has either died or is Goldie Hawn, who's his wife. So one of those. Oh wait, I don't think they're married actually. So that's why she won't marry him. She's like, if you knew what he did to Walt Disney, it is fucked up.
Damn.
It is fucked up. Anyway, so Cars 3 isn't going to be great.
Nah, it's gonna suck like always. They trick us now, but the movie's gonna be shit.
Yeah.
Just wait. Oh, but let's see. Next question. The Apex Predator question: is there something you would like to see get a super edgy reboot?
Before we start, I like the Apex Predator thing reminded me of Chronicle. Because I love Chronicle to bits, and I love Max Landis, as we're all well aware. But that continual use of that line is funny as fuck to me, especially when he's about to, like, the guy's like, "No, don't do this," and then the kid who gets bullied a lot is like, "I am the Apex Predator."
Yeah,
so funny.
That was a good remake of The Craft.
I looked at it as America's Akira.
Yeah, bit of both. Yeah, that's what I heard the comparison of. Although I heard mostly Akira, but a couple of months ago I was watching The Craft and it was like, oh, this is like a Chronicle, only not as good. Well,
yeah.
Well, it's like the problem with The Craft is it's a special effects movie in the 90s, and the effects aren't as good anymore. So the magic of it is kind of just.
Oh, that was a good review thing.
Yeah.
The magic of The Craft doesn't hold up.
That'll be on the Rotten Tomato meter.
It should be on the new special edition DVD or Blu-ray.
It's like,
the magic just doesn't hold up.
Hey, watch this so you can remember how crappy the 90s were with special effects. Well, at least The Craft has goth girls, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Still, it was still a good movie, just not as good as it could have been, as it used to was. I don't know. But things you want a super edgy reboot for.
I want to say Sonic the Hedgehog, but I feel
No.
like that 2018 movie is going to be it.
I almost feel like
Oh my
this
god,
question.
we didn't talk about this, but like the Deadpool director for the first Deadpool movie has moved on, and he signed up to be the director of the live actions.
He's not a director; he's an executive producer.
Well, fuck,
Yeah.
never mind.
No, he's like, if you really read into that story, it really what it is his friend is directing Sonic, and so it sounds like basically his friend was like, hey, could you just like sit in a couple meetings and you'll get a free lunch and just like back me up because you're like a big deal. And his friend was like, and Tim, I think his name's Tim Miller, was like, yeah, sure. And that's supposedly like why that deal went down. And it would have happened if Deadpool 2 had happened or not. Because all he has to do is sit in a boardroom, eat a sandwich, and be like, yeah, no, Tails should look like that. Yeah. Because executive producers don't do nothing. They just eat chicken salad sandwiches and approve.
I like to think I like to think he's going to do something. He
might do a little something, but it's not as much as you want.
I don't know. I don't know what the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is going to be animated by Sony and Sega's Marza, I think it's called, animation team who did Night of the Werehog, which was a really good little short film. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be live action as well. So what I'm wondering is, what's the extent of both? Where does the live action begin and when does the animation begin?
Whoa.
I'm picturing the Smurfs movie.
I want Sonic to come to New York and be like, where are the loop-de-loops? What the fuck?
Oh, man, if he does, I hope I get a cameo and be like, whoa, look at that blue blur.
The blur.
Oh, or I could be a chili dog salesman, be like, chili dogs, and then he'll come and steal all the chili dogs. It'd be hilarious.
I'm going to make a promise now. It's never going to happen, but if by some fluke I make a live action directing thing and you guys are available, you guys will get, well, Jim has already happened, but and if we ever wind up in the same place sometime, I will give you a cameo. I won't credit you as Pan or anything. So people will just be like, who the fuck was that rando?
No one will
but
know.
It'll be you.
I could cameo in any film and nobody would know it's me.
Well, you cameoed in a lot of stuff. I'm surprised no one's figured it out.
Yeah, it's like, if you ever see someone that looks like John Green, the writer, it was me.
Yeah, like a white Hispanic dude.
Yeah, that's specific. But for an edgy reboot, what should get an edgy reboot?
It would be easier if it was like what shouldn't get an edgy reboot.
Everything?
Yeah,
let's change the question to what shouldn't get an edgy reboot.
I mean, what should? I don't even...
What's something kid-friendly that you want to see get grimdark? But what I like to see is the Powerpuff Girls. Not so much super edgy, but just like, imagine... like the movie Kick-Ass with Hit Girl, but 3 Hit Girls, and it's the Powerpuff Girls movie, and they're just beating the shit out of criminals in live action.
That could be cool.
Yeah, wasn't that basically the Powerpuff Girls movie?
No, but live action with like real girls just beating up these grown men with superpowers. That'd be hilarious.
That would be cool.
It would be like the best part of Kick-Ass times 3.
I love how in Kick-Ass, like the little girl, like she was like, I can only curse on set. At home, we call the movie Kick Butt.
Oh,
is that true?
I remember reading that somewhere. I think it was in a magazine.
I think she's like, her family's like super Christian. I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, cool for them for letting her do the movie, but
yeah.
See, I'm trying to think of what would even get a dark reboot. Like that. See, to me, it's like the Power Rangers. That's the one. I think I rewatched Power Rangers, and I was like, man, someone made a joke of making a dark reboot of the Power Rangers, and they just went ahead with doing it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's the 2010s for you. That they're like, someone made a joke, but they made money making that joke. So what if? Although I don't think he did. He just got a bunch of views. Like, he got a lot of attention. So what if we just made it a regular dark reboot instead of a joke? But the thing is with that Power Rangers thing is there's so many people who I had to explain to them that it was a joke. Like, they didn't get it.
I'm not going to lie. I'll be 100% honest with you all.
What?
I didn't really see it as a joke. I was like, I kind of like this, actually.
I mean, I think it's
I was into it.
I mean, it's probably better directed than the Power Rangers movie is going to be, but the whole part with the Black Power Ranger, and he's like, well, you know him, and he's like doing blow, and with all these like, he's like this mercenary for hire. It's so Watchmen and stuff, but I mean, I think that's like kind of that's what Watchmen is. It's the dark reboot of the darker, more like sinister side of if these people really had powers. And he wanted to use like real superheroes because aren't some of them based on?
They were all based off some real DC hero like The Question and Captain Atom.
Yeah,
but they went.
But it's. I mean, they're kind of like frameworks for other heroes, which is another weird thing about Watchmen. Is whenever someone's telling me like, "Oh, I'm reading Watchmen," I'm like, "But you don't read comics. What do you even get out of this?" Like, I just don't. I've never understood that. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. But it's funny how many of the dark reboots take from Watchmen. Like Watchmen kind of, I guess that's where the whole thing came from, because that's, because I would, when I think about dark reboots, most of them, like Johnny Quest could be a cool dark reboot, but Venture Brothers did that already.
Yeah.
And I think they were really going to do a Johnny Quest dark reboot, but it never got off the ground or got further enough in development to announce. Or
that reminds me, the director of Donnie Darko originally had a script for the Disney movie based off the book Holes, the Shia LaBeouf movie.
Oh, really?
Oh man, like the script is online. Like I should talk about it in a video sometime, but it's hilariously just overly grimdark. Because the original plot of the movie Holes is Stanley Yelnats gets sent out to a camp where he has to dig a hole. And that's his punishment. And then eventually, when his time is done, he gets to go back home. But this camp is in the desert. But in the writer for Donnie Darko, director who wrote this script that's online, the reason why it's a desert is apparently this was post a nuclear attack.
Oh boy.
I don't know. And it's just like talking about how someone was a drug dealer. Stanley Yelnats goes into the city and loses his virginity to a hooker.
What? Did he really think they were going to make this?
I don't know.
Is he for real? Holes was like a big book. Like, I saw that with my little brother because he was so into that book. And it's still kind of a dark idea. Like, you're going to send these kids to, like, work all day digging holes. God. I thought it was their own graves, but apparently it wasn't. That would have been darker.
No, that'd be a dark twist if that were the case. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened in the book. Like, I remember reading the script during class like 2 years ago. Like I don't remember what I was learning in class, but I remember reading this script and it was something.
That's funny.
Speaking of movie experiences with families, my dad literally took me out of class to go see Holes. To go see Hoot because Jimmy Buffett was in it.
What?
My dad literally was like, "We're all going out. I'm taking you guys out of class so we can go see Hoot together as a family." And I'm like, "Okay."
What's your end game, Dad?
What is your end?
Did he enjoy it?
I guess so. He owns it.
He bought it on DVD.
Did he like your dad? Did your dad like Jimmy Buffett?
My dad loves Jimmy Buffett.
Or did he like his cameo in Jurassic World?
Jimmy Buffett was in Jurassic World?
Just for like a second. Like, because if you see in Jurassic World, there's like all those restaurants and like there's a Buffett, Buffett's World or Buffett Place or whatever it is. And there's like, it's like a blink or you'll miss it thing, but there's a guy who grabs 2 margaritas as the dinosaurs are attacking, and that's Jimmy Buffett.
Yeah, now I remember that. Yeah. I remember that was a cameo by somebody.
Hey, yeah. I just made Nolan's dad's day.
He knows.
Oh. What a random cameo. But anything else for super edgy reboots?
Maybe like My Life. No, I actually maybe Full House. Make a dark edgy reboot of Full House. How about the mom dies of like AIDS or something instead of a car crash?
Isn't
there
this
we go.
Just BoJack Horseman. No, that's the Watchmen version of Full House.
Yeah. No, basically. Well, BoJack. That's why I always thought it was weird. Netflix has BoJack and the reboot of Full House. That's the 2010s. So like we've made a lot of money making fun of a Full House type show, what if we get Full House also?
But to end this podcast off, I forgot MOANA.
What can I say except you're welcome for the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome. I'm just an ordinary demiguy. Hey.
Did we all see MOANA?
I saw Moana. It's called Moana.
Shit. MOANA. Fuck. Let's talk about MOANA. To end this off fun.
Oh, did you saw it too, Pam?
Yeah, I guess we all saw it then.
Yeah, we all saw it.
Yay. I thought it was really good. Somewhat predictable, though, but yeah, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a little, it's good. It's just like very genre Disney, I guess. Like it's not like, I think Zootopia is going to be the Disney movie of this year, really. But like Moana is still good. I think I shit on Moana a lot, but I still think it's a good movie. But the problem is it's like, it's very much of this post-Tangled Frozen era, you know? And like you have, what?
Holy shit, Zootopia did come out this year. It's been such a long, terrible year. I forgot.
Yeah,
it was like March or something.
Because they didn't release Zootopia. They didn't release Zootopia last year. There was no Disney animated film last year because they were saving it for Star Wars.
Oh yeah, and then they had 2 Pixars last year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, no Pixar. Did they have a Pixar this year? Wasn't there?
I don't think so.
Oh no, there was.
No, Finding Dory.
Finding Dory, that's right.
Finding Dory.
Everyone forgot about Finding Dory, and it made like $1 billion.
Finding Dory.
2 years ago there was no Pixar movie.
Yeah, Finding Dory was pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
So, in all honesty, but no, it's. I think it's good. It's just kind of like, it's clearly not one of those of a Disney era that, if this was like the Disney Renaissance, this would be like Hunchback or something like that. You know, like it's like good, but I'm not ecstatic about it. But I'm gonna see it again, so maybe I'll feel differently later.
I don't know. I thought Moana was just like, the music was so good.
Yeah.
It was like I was like, there was a song I didn't like, or just felt like, oh, just can we get this on with? And I was like, some good shit.
Especially the I'm Shiny by Jermaine Clement of Flight of the Conchords.
You granny lied. I'd rather be shiny, like a treasure from a sunken pirate wreck. Scrub the deck and make it look shiny. I will sparkle like a wealthy woman's neck. Just a sec, don't you know?
Yeah, that was great.
I really liked that song, but I liked the overall theme song more. I think it was like Find Your Way or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the one that, because Lin-Manuel Miranda is so popular, like they let him sing in it, but he doesn't have a character in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. They don't do that a lot, but I was like, oh, because they've had Lin-Manuel Miranda do press for Moana because he's like, because of Hamilton and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like when I was like, when I heard his voice in the movie so prominent, I was like, oh wow, you really wanted to sell this with him, because, you know, he's like one of the biggest stars right now, I guess. But I like did you notice the song You're Welcome with The Rock?
Yeah.
Did you notice the effect where they make it look like they're on a green screen?
I didn't notice until after you pointed it out. Like I could see what you were going with.
Because it was like so weird. I was like, wow, that they like sat there and go, you know, it'd be cool if we made this look like a cheap music video where the band's just in front of a green screen the whole time. Yeah. And they just like went with, I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, because we're mixing these 2D elements with these 3D characters. And I don't know, when I saw it in 3D, since that was the only option, the movie does not... 3D doesn't really help the movie at all, except for that one scene where it becomes super obvious the characters are 3D, but the objects are 2-dimensional. It kind of had like a pop-out story effect, like a cardboard cutout effect.
That's cool.
Yeah, because didn't you say also The Rock appreciates voice acting, like he respects the medium?
Yeah, apparently he when he signed on, he was like, I don't want to just be some actor who does it for an easy paycheck kind of thing. He apparently kept... I've read, when I did my review of it, I think I just said, like, apparently he does actually really care, but I later read that the other people who worked on the film who were, like, actual voice actors, he'd constantly be asking them for, like, tips or am I doing this right? Or, like, he contacted voice actors. So he actually, I mean, he does a good performance. He always, like, puts his whole self in a movie, whether that movie deserves it or not. But in this case, I thought he did a good job. Like, it wasn't like The Rock just getting an easy paycheck. Like, he really pushed himself, especially because in most countries, other than the eyebrow lift, most of what he did isn't going to be there. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, they specifically had that eyebrow lift thing in the movie.
They had a lot of eyebrow lifts. I was like, wow, I can smell what he's cooking.
But one scene I really liked was those coconut things.
Oh, the Fury Road thing.
Yeah, because it was like, man, we need a remake of Waterworld. Like, if they need to animate, they need to, like, if Disney's gonna remake a bunch of stuff, like, make an animated remake of the live-action Waterworld movie.
Waterworld was just Mad Max on water, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the. But no, apparently they actually made that sequence as a tribute to Mad Max Fury Road. they said, I read some interview with those guys, but I mean, I don't know. I do enjoy it, but it's kind of weird to see it after Zootopia is still so much in everyone's mind, and Zootopia is saying all this stuff. And I don't know if, although Moana does a lot with was it Polynesian culture and stuff, I don't think it's doing what Zootopia did, but it's not fair to compare them, I guess, also. So, but it's just, you know, I'm not going to hate a really good Disney movie. That's always good Disney.
Don't be a fucking asshole, Jim.
For me, like, I always hear criticisms against Disney's Hercules, and I'm like, why does everyone hate this movie? I love it. And then I was watching I don't know her real name, but she used to be the nostalgia chick, and she wrote a whole essay on like why Disney's Hercules was not as good as all the other Disney movies, and I'm like, fuck. I still like it though.
I haven't seen Hercules in forever. That's the same people who made Moana, I believe, right? The same director.
I think
directors.
so. But do you ever hear like a bunch of valid criticism for a movie you really like, and then you hear the criticism, but you're like, whatever. You still like the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I do that a lot too.
I read that there's a bunch of critics who I'll really like, and there's one. Well, actually, okay. So the movie Halloween, the original, I love that movie so much, and I watch it like every year. And Pauline Kael's like probably the critic who I like the most, is like my big influence or whatever, and I read her a lot. And her review of Halloween, basically she meant it as like a diss, but I took it as like, oh, exactly, because it said like this looks like a movie by someone who's watched way too many movies and TV and doesn't go outside enough, or something like that. And I was like, that's what I love about Halloween. What's your problem? I don't. I was like, but it's like a quote I used almost to describe Halloween, because it is made by like a film dork who like watches too many movies and like doesn't really know much. It's like not primarily based in reality. It's made by someone who's watched way too many movies. So it's like,
you're saying the writer needs to get laid?
Well, I mean, he made it with his girlfriend.
Damn.
So that might not be true. But I don't know. I think sometimes I've read takedowns of movies I like, but you kind of just have to be like, I've read reviews and it's turned my opinion, but you kind of just have to go, well, you know, that's cool, but I think that's the whole thing with criticism. You just try to make your valid points, and sometimes someone will go, those aren't valid, fuck you. And then other times they'll be like, oh shit, Deadpool is about the Indian pipeline.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to a point where you just like, you hear criticism, like you can acknowledge the criticism, but you can still enjoy the movie as it's with its flaws.
I mean, there's been times I've read critics who I really like, and then I'll read or see their video and be like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, I don't, and it'll really turn me off. But most of the time I'll just take it as, because that's ultimately what criticism is it's their perspective on a movie, and it should be truthful to that. So,
Yeah, like, I'm trying to think of an example. I hear people constantly shit on that Sonic movie I spent $80 on.
Oh yeah, the OVA, the anime one.
Yeah, like Bennett the Sage says it's worse than Sonic 06, and I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. You fucking Neanderthal. Bennett, don't trust Bennett the Sage at all.
Oh.
Well, like a lot of people.
He's from that guy with the glasses, so you know what we're getting at.
But he writes for Zontan. Well, whatever happened to Zone 10, I don't know.
But then there are also people who like hated Scott Pilgrim and said it's made by somebody. I don't know. I'm not quoting an exact review, but I kept hearing, "Oh, it's made by somebody who plays too many video games." And I was like, "Look, I don't play video games ever, but I love Scott Pilgrim, And to me, like, that's what makes it so awesome, is that all its pop culture references and it's quick cutting and everything's going on. And so, like, sometimes people just don't. I mean, sometimes you could just say, wow, you, like, do not get it at all. Like, you know, so.
I mean, one of the most flawed movies I like, that I will acknowledge there are a lot of flaws in the movie, is Chappie.
I think for me, that's probably Willow. I, like, love Willow, and I know it's, like, not good. But it's just like, or Masters of the Universe. I watch that every couple of weeks. And that's like, I know it's not even, I'm not even going to pretend like it's a good movie. And I've read like the whole oral history of making it. And like, I know why it's bad, but I'm still like, I'll still enjoy it. But you know, you don't have to like what?
Oh, I'm surprised they haven't done anything with like He-Man and Masters of the Universe in forever.
I know they've been developing it for a while, and they've been trying to reboot He-Man since, like, there was an early 90s one that didn't really take off, and then they did a 2000s show, which I remember liking, and then that didn't take off, and I don't know if they've done one since then. But I think the thing with He-Man is
it's just Conan.
Well, yeah, it is just Conan. I mean, it is basically just Conan. Didn't we talk about that on forever ago, how they just took the models of Conan? And even the movie, they took a Conan stage show at a theme park, got the guy who directed that and got him to direct the Masters of the Universe thing. So it is, but it's like Conan with more sci-fi and stuff. So it could be, if you got someone who is really into Masters of the Universe, I think it could work. But unless you're getting, like, who would you get to be He-Man? Like, well, actually, The Rock. If you got The Rock, I would be so into that. Get The Rock, Masters of the Universe. I'd be down. Oh my God, Kevin Hart could play Orko.
Oh God.
I'm writing this movie right now. Give me who could play Skeletor? You could get somebody good there.
Someone really flaming.
Oh yeah, like
I was listening to Double Toasted's podcast, and they were talking about it. Like, if they ever do a He-Man reboot, like, they had to be super self-aware and just like be overly flamboyant and just make it the gayest thing possible.
What it was really doing is it was doing that Frank Frazetta thing that He-Man was so into.
Yeah,
you know, and like that was so like about like these guys with like these ridiculous chests and like with like these huge muscles and like with the huge sword, and then there'd be like this half naked girl at her, like the Star Wars poster. Like that's like that kind of style, but like more exaggerated. And I think like that exaggerated kind of sexuality was more on the like more around in the late 70s, but now we're like, whoa, that's too much for 2016. So I think it'd be hard to do, but like it would be a hard film to get work. I don't know how you would do it.
I'm going for the self-aware parody. I want that.
I mean, yeah, you could, if The Rock is the only person who could not wear a shirt for a whole movie, and I believe it. Like if The Rock did, oh man, I want The Rock's Masters of the Universe so bad now with Orko.
What I want them to do is just like have like He-Man and Skeletor wrestling, but it's like shot in, I guess, slow motion. Like it has dramatic music, but it also
I got it. Who should play Skeletor? John Cena. John Cena plays Skeletor. The Rock plays He-Man. Who would not see that movie? Everyone would see that movie.
I want this now. Just, I guess the closest thing we have to the grimdark He-Man is Korgoth, the pilot episode.
Yeah. If anyone has The Rock's number, I'll call him.
Oh, I do.
Please.
You do?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That makes sense.
Hold on. Let me call him. Pan edit in like phone beeps.
Okay, sure, I'll do that. Oh my God, he's actually calling.
And then just have it be the rejection hotline.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Shut up. I don't want to mess this up. Shut up.
Here it is. Oh.
Your call cannot be
I guess he just changed his voicemail, you guys. Yeah.
He became too big for us.
He'll talk to me eventually.
He's not the master of my universe anymore.
After that Kevin Hart movie, things were never the same between him and Nolan.
If they did He-Man, I could pitch it be like, look, we have a She-Ra spin-off, we have a cinematic universe. It's gonna work.
Who owns He-Man? Mattel?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's Mattel.
Yeah, the crossover with the Barbie movie with Amy Schumer. It's gonna be
my God,
fucking amazing.
This is gonna be great.
So is that all for MOANA?
I think so.
I don't have much to say other than I really, really liked it.
I don't know if I like it as much as Zootopia. Like, I like Zootopia, but like the one thing that kind of ruined Zootopia for me was how telegraphed the ending was.
What do you mean? Oh, how like genre?
I thought it was clever how they kind of foreshadowed it, and then they kept shoving it in your face, and it was like, okay, stop.
I mean, it was just like really fine-tuned, kind of Hollywoody screenwriting. But I thought that was. I mean, I sort of liked it, but I can understand. Because the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't know.
So yeah, I think Zootopia is a little better. Although I think my favorite overall Disney movie of this generation since Tangled was Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
In the credits of Moana, there's a Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, at the very end of the credits, there's just a Wreck-It Ralph sitting there as it scrolls up.
Oh, that's weird. So
it's just like a picture of him. Like it's just there, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I guess they're making Wreck-It Ralph 2
what does
now.
this mean? What sucks is that my theater, they didn't play the credits all the way. Like, they just showed the first few seconds of the credits, and then it just it started flashing the screen, and it turned into a rave, basically, and then they just cut it off. It was like, oh, well, thanks for nothing. I guess I'll leave. Fuck you, then. This is how I get treated at Cinemark. Fuckers.
The last person we throw under the bus.
Yeah. Fuck you, Cinemark. I'm tired.
We throw in so many people under the bus. I'd like to offer a formal apology to myself for having to put up with all these people.
Oh.
We actually threw a bus under the bus.
But like
the bus just went over a whole town in an orphanage.
Oh no.
I just want to say, if you ever go to Cinemark, like, I don't know what movie theaters you guys go to, but for me, I think at Cinemark, there's always, at the beginning of every movie, there's always this group of multicultural teenagers, like, singing this really shitty song, and it's just, like, at the start of every movie, and it's like, please, stop.
Wait, what? I think I've been to a few, but I haven't seen that.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing can completely
Well, it's recent, so it's just like, oh, this is the cringiest song, one of those cringy, like, we're all in this together type of songs, like something you'd hear on High School Musical. Like, I'll link it below because I fucking hate this song. Every time it plays, like, I just want to cringe into the crescent of my seat. You know, like, you know how the seat folds up? Like, I wish I could just, like, sink myself in between the seat and just, like, lie there and just hide until that song is over so I don't have to feel the shame of it.
That's usually how I feel at the pre-trailers thing, because I see so many movies. Sometimes I'll just be on my phone and people will look at me like, what are you doing? Like, this is like, it's not the previews, like before the previews. Oh, yeah. I'm like, dude, I've seen this, like, I see this a couple times a week. I'm like, I'm not going to be excited for, you know, Maria Menounos telling me about, like, Viking season 4. Like, I just don't.
Oh man, but do you remember whenever you went to, like, an animated movie, like, there was always that one trailer for I think The Wildlife, some low-budget CG movie about these animals living on an island, and they would always play that fucking trailer every time the
Robinson Crusoe thing or whatever.
I think so.
And like, and it was like
it was a foreign movie that they dubbed over, I believe.
Yeah, and then there's like a hippo or something, and she's like, "Big is beautiful," and she has her butt in the camera. So, yeah, that was. I thought about seeing that movie because I was like, oh man, I haven't hated an animated movie in forever. But then I was like, I just can't. I don't even want to support it. Just like the trailer just like the end of The Devil Inside.
Oh yeah, but like I don't think anybody saw that movie except for Lewd Tunes, because he has this quest to review every movie this year that's animated in theaters.
Oh,
and
hey, that's commendable.
Which I should have done that but it's too late because I missed out on Norma the North, Kung Fu Panda 3.
You missed Norma the North?
I should have seen it. Like, I know somebody's making me a hat, and when I get that hat, I want to do like vlogs of movies I just saw. So maybe next year we'll have a new version, our version of Norma the North.
Norma the North. Wow, that was so the bottom. It's hard to come up with a worser movie North, the North.
Normies of the North. But do you remember seeing that trailer for like this one soccer movie with foosball?
Wait, you mean the Underdogs?
Yeah, Underdogs. This foosball.
No,
movie.
I saw it.
Yeah,
it was on Netflix.
Yeah, you reviewed it, but what's weird is that they played the trailer in theaters, and like they said, here's the date that comes out, and eventually it just vanished, and nobody ever saw it, and then it just popped up one day on Netflix.
But I think wasn't it something that like they only released the European dub on Netflix. So there's an American, because this is so stupid, but they make 2 dubs, one for England and then one for America, even though they're both speaking English.
Yeah.
And so I think only the English dub has ever come out. I think there's an American dub that's never been released. I think I don't remember. Underdogs, I kind of like, oh God, that movie was real bad. But apparently in other countries, I think what other country it's from, people really love it there. But I was like, I don't know.
A country where there's no room and everybody just plays foosball because nobody has the room for a soccer field.
Yeah.
I think Argentina is where it is. That's a small country.
It was like a big deal for them because it was like one of their first big animated movies, I think, or that was made in that country and was a success. And I think it was a success in other countries, but not so much in America.
Nope. Didn't even make the theaters.
Well, not only did it look crappy, it's about a sport that no one in America cares about.
Yeah.
So it was like a double whammy.
Like a simulation of a sport nobody cares about, like a foosball.
No, there's because they play the foosball. Well, actually, the trailer lies because it's not a foosball team against a real soccer team. The trailer makes you think that it's actually a group of people from the town versus an actual football team. That's the actual plot of the movie. The foosball team just comes to life and gives them advice and stuff.
This is a fucking ripoff, so it doesn't even follow those characters.
No, so the trailer you saw, it is not. They're there and they help out the regular people, but it's really a team about this town had to get together the best people who play football against an actual football team. This is not American football, soccer, I guess.
Damn, they kangaroo jacked me.
Oh yeah, they kangaroo jacked you hard.
Fuck. So is this the end of the podcast?
I think so.
Yeah, this has been a very good one.
Oh yeah. Okay. And it's no thanks to Izzy.
Oh, Izzy. Anytime someone's missing, it's usually it's usually a very interesting podcast.
Izzy, you're fired. Goodbye.
What?
Oh no, we're just kidding. Izzy can stay forever. We're all in this together. So this is the end of the podcast. I'm Pan Pizza. Who are you people?
I was Jim.
I was Nolan.
And the next video is going to be 5 cartoonists who hated their own work.
And themselves.
And themselves, yes. I must clarify, and themselves. Goodbye. Play us out, Emily and Stephanie. Yeah, I don't feel like singing today, so fuck all of you bitches.